Hi, my name's Chizzy Rascal and I run an independent radio show called Karma Radio. Each week we release an episode to SoundCloud. It's usually around an hour long and I play out some of the best new bands hitting the UK alternative scene right now, as well as a bunch of household names that we all know and love already. It's a good place to discover some new bands or keep up with the new releases, so come and check it out. We also have a guest on the show each week, musicians from bands such as Holding Absence, Seaway, Funeral for a Friend, and a whole bunch more. So I've taken out this part of the show and I've added it to YouTube for anyone that wants to listen to what these artists have to say. But if you want to listen to the full show and listen to the artists' chosen tracks as well, then head over to the SoundCloud page. I'll add a link in the description below. Thank you for listening, and this is Karma Radio.
This is Karma Radio.
So you're listening to Karma Radio, and today we're joined by Danny from the band The Hideaways. Danny, how are you doing today?
Hello, mate. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, very good, thank you. Very good. We're a few months into lockdown now, and things are starting to loosen up a bit. Have you boys managed to have a band practice together lately?
No, we haven't, but we have been keeping busy. We've trying to gather some footage from our last Bristol gig. And put that into a video from our last single, so hopefully that'll be out soon.
That was a sellout show at Crofters as well, wasn't it?
That was, that was great. That was great. I think that was the last gig we done before shooting off to New York, so it'd be good to get that out. And I've just sort of finished writing an album, which hopefully, if someone can chuck us some money, we can record that.
Because you guys were in New York, weren't you, when the lockdown happened?
Yeah, it's mad, mate. Because it was like, we had a good gig lined up on Saturday night at like the main venue, so we're a bit gutted about that. But we were out there; it was great. We were with a load of other bands, just having a mint time, mate, as you'd expect.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Played a couple of gigs, which were great. But hopefully we can get back there next year or the year after.
Yeah, that's cool. How did you find the reception from the Americans?
Yeah, they loved it. I think the feedback I got was great. So. Yeah, that's what we can ask for, really. Yeah,
I noticed. I went to the first time I ever went to a show outside of the UK just over a year ago. I noticed the difference in crowds. That I think the UK, we're all just too awkward. Everyone just stands there, don't they? They wait until everyone else starts jumping and singing around before they want to do it. So if no one starts it, no one does it. Whereas I went to a show in Berlin and everyone just got as close to the front as they could. They were just getting so involved. Yeah. So, it must be great to kind of experience that firsthand as well. Yeah, no, you're right. But again, I think America is quite similar to the UK. But like you said, in Europe, when we played years ago in Germany, I think we played Berlin as well. Like you said, it was just people were just bang up for it, mate. And the venues were packed, even though they probably didn't even know who we were. It's good to see, though, isn't it? Just to see people that they are just appreciating the music. Yeah, mosh pits and everything, and a couple of people sing along, which were like, maybe they've done their homework, which is good to see. But it's good. All right, so we'll talk about your latest single then. Forgive me if I get it wrong. I've played it on the show before, and I remember I was chatting to Sam in your band, and I was like, "Is this how you say it? Am I saying it right?" Luminescence.
That's perfect, my friend.
Yeah, I got it. Yes, tell us a bit about that then. What was the writing process? What's sort of the meaning behind the song, really?
Yeah, the riff came first. I just played it. It's so simple. But on the demo, I put 4 different guitars over the one riff. And I was like, how are we going to play this live? But Tim's pulled it off. He doesn't need 4 guitars to play it, so that's good. And then it kind of just went into this driving kind of energetic song. I think there is one review of it which said leaving the listener in beautiful emotive shambles, which I quite like. The chorus then came because the choruses are quite they were completely different to what they are now, and we didn't really know what to do with them. I think we were planning on putting some scatty drums over, just making it really busy, but we just got stuck with it, so we left it where it was, finished the rest of the song, and then listened to the song back, and we're like, actually, doesn't really need anything else. And the songs, it's I feel like you're listening to it, or at least when you were playing it, I feel like you're a ragdoll just getting hit to the floor, and then the chorus comes, and you're kind of just hanging there over all the madness, and then you drop back into it. So Yeah, it's a bit different to what we usually do. It's a different chorus to what you'd expect, but yeah, I mean, the meaning behind the song is just about like the alien life in the deep ocean. Because again, it's just run out of songs to write about love, as you hear most songs. So
Yeah,
yeah, we thought I'll go down that route of just being weird. I wasn't
nice.
stoned when I wrote it.
That was going to be where did you get the inspiration? But you've answered that
Oh
one.
mate, do you know what? Blue Planet. I was just watching Blue, and you know you've got all these different like mad fish and like creatures, and they're like, oh, this is a song. This is going in a song. And
That's
there it
cool.
was.
All right then. So yeah, let's play the track out for the listeners then. So this is Luminescence by the Hideaways.
This is Karma Radio.
So that was Luminescence by the Hideaways, and Danny's now going to talk us through an artist which has inspired you musically.
Like when I was like really young, I was going through the indie phase. I had like my Liam Gallagher cut, big sideburns, and Fred Perry on, and it was after that I kind of started venturing out a bit because like, I had my old man throwing like the Clash, the Jam, and he even tried throwing Bon Jovi at me at one stage. But I was like, I can't go down that route. And
I love a bit of Bon Jovi.
Mate, do you know what I mean? And to be honest, you say like inspired performance. Like he back in the day, we watched like the Wembley shows and shows like that. He can perform. And
yeah,
I was looking at like I loved Muse all the way to like Libertines, so many different genres, even like Kings of Leon at the time. And then, but for me at the time when I started playing with other people, I was just really into Muse. The fact that they could create just so much noise with just three of them, and how good they all individually were.
Yeah.
And I didn't actually want to be a singer. I didn't actually want to play the guitar. I started playing drums as a kid, so but that failed. And you'll see that if you see me dance. I just can't keep a rhythm. So for me, it was making music, and the guitar and the singing just went from there.
Yeah, that's interesting you say that. A lot of guests I've had recently have said they started with drums. And I know it's a bit of a known thing, especially for local bands in Bristol, that there's a shortage of drummers because you find one drummer and they're in about 4 different bands. There needs to be more people that stick to the drums.
Yeah, everyone just wants to bang things as a kid, don't they? You know?
Yeah.
So it's like just whatever I can hit really hard. But yeah, for me, it was just like, because I had a load of demos which are very bad. And I was like, right, you know, I might as well sing them and learn the guitar and play them myself. But at the time, it was Muse. And like the album Absolution was like, I was like, there's so many different noises, and he's got like piano coming in with like rock guitars, very Queen influence. You know, you had like your opera kind of style to it, and the 2 songs for me were like what made me kind of want to build just an epic big sound were Butterflies and Hurricanes, and I think Stockholm Syndrome was the other one which I loved.
Yeah.
At the time I was like, wow, this is brilliant. But then that sort of pushed me on to Radiohead and bands like that, you know.
Yeah, well, it's funny you say those 2 songs. That I was just looking at the track listing then of Absolution because I like Muse, but I'm not massively into them that I know all of their back catalogue. But I was just looking through this album going, oh, Stockholm Syndrome, oh, Butterflies and Hurricanes, those are the 2 good ones. Then you said both of those ones.
They're bangers, mate, and
they're so good.
I don't listen to them now. Do you know what I mean? I think that was the last album of theirs which I actually enjoyed. I think everything from then I just grew out of. But yeah, that was for me as a young lad, sort of making my first songs. It was then that kind of sound. Just wanted everything in it, just busy.
Yeah. Busy and loud.
Busy and loud, yeah, big guitars. And again, just the fact that Matt Bellamy, I think at one stage I actually wanted to be Matt Bellamy. Like I walked around with like red trousers on just because he did.
We've all had phases of that with some musician.
That was part of my life, which, you know, I dyed my hair black as well, which I'm sure he did. So, yeah.
Cool. Which song should we go for then out of the 2?
Butterflies and Hurricanes.
This is Karma Radio.
And next, Danny, tell us your favourite artist, and then we'll have a chat about them and play a song by them.
It's hard, isn't it? But do you know what? So I'm going to go with the National because Oh, and right, this is gonna sound wet, but I got it. When you feel disconnected from everyone and everything, like I feel like they're the only band I can listen to it's like they're in the room with me. That's how just relative everything feels. And for me, Boxer, their album in I think it's 2007. It's not when I discovered them, by the way. But yeah, that's my favorite album at the moment, and it's just from start to finish, just brilliant. Fake Empire, the song, opening song, quality. There's
Nice.
lyrics on there. There's lyrics. I think they go to tiptoe through our shiny city with our diamond slippers on, and that line for me is like, yeah, that's a bit of me. I'll have a bit of that. But yeah, it's made the National for me are probably my favorite band at the
Yeah,
moment.
I've never listened to them. So I'm like, oh, I've got nothing to say about this band because I don't know them at all. But I've
Do you know what, mate? Though, like my mum and dad don't even know who they are. Do you know what I mean? And like they're massive. They're huge. They're just as big as the biggest bands in the world. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
they're
I know, yeah,
sellouts.
because I've heard the name, and especially with the more rock and metal side of things, there's a lot of bands like that where a lot of people will know the name, but like it might take them a while to actually listen, and sometimes it's down to like sort of almost like musical maturity, really. That yeah, you just kind of grow and learn to listen to other music, really, I suppose. And it might be one of those
Yeah,
bands
yeah.
that they've got a massive following, but
Oh yeah, like I wouldn't have enjoyed them back when I was younger. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like because they're very mature, and I wouldn't put them on at a party, although I have done. Right? And again, people just were like, "Who's this?" Not for
Yeah.
me. But like, that's the beauty about music, isn't it? I've gone down that route of loving the um, what's the word, like mellow side of things in music, like because not so rocky, not so intense,
Yeah.
but emotional. Do you know what I mean? I love all that,
Well, you've got to
especially
have some
after.
diversity, haven't you? Like music can
Yeah,
affect
yeah.
your mood, so you don't want to be if you're sad. Well, I mean, some people might. If you're sad, you might want to
Well,
listen to
I mean,
something
like
energetic
this
and
is
loud to get yourself back into it. But sometimes, if you're sad,
the
you want to
funny
listen
thing
to
is,
sad music.
yeah, you're right, mate. And the funny thing about it is, right? I don't like the sad because they are quite a sad band, right? But I don't find them sad. I find them euphoric, and I'll be listening to it, right, and just with a smile on my face. And like a lot of people would sit there with me and go, "Mate, turn it over. Screw that. Feels so solid. This ain't getting me nowhere." But I'm like, nah, this is what I'm all about, and I love it. And it's yeah, they. Do you know what? Radiohead have always been up there for me. But yeah, I think the National. Personally, I think the songs are just so much for me, much more relatable.
Which song should we go for then by the National?
I'll go. We'll go. I'll tell you what. Let's give them "Mistaken for Strangers."
This is Karma Radio.
Danny, thanks very much for coming on the show today. It's been a pleasure talking
Thanks
to
for
you.
having me.
And you've mentioned then about you must have spent quite a bit of time writing in the past few months, and you've got a load of tracks ready for an album. So,
Yeah.
finance aside, is that all it is really? Just sort of waiting on being able to get it recorded and put out, really?
Well, yeah, I need to. I've run it past the lads. The lads got to fall in love with it and put their magic on it and make
Yeah.
it the Hideaways. But it's very different to what we've already put out, and it's exciting for me. Like I think is much better. But yeah, I've just kind of thought, let's put the guitars down a bit, make it more electronic. But there's influences from the National on there. There's influences from Falls still. But then there's I've taken sort of bits from like M83, John Hopkins, even like a bit of Bombay Bicycle Club. Like all these bands are very influential on it. So it's gone from rock music to more electro rock, which hopefully when we get back rehearsing, we can put some of them in the set and then just shock people at our next gig. We've got a gig booked in October at Rough Trade.
Nice. Yeah, I was going to ask about that because that was going to be in April, wasn't it? And for obvious reasons, that didn't happen.
You know what, mate? Though, and like, if I hope it goes ahead. If it does go ahead, it's going to be one hell of a party because it should work out to be one of the first gigs from like unsigned band in the city. people are just going to be like itching to go. Do you know what I mean? It'd be a great night, and if we can play some of the new stuff, which we're all itching to play, hopefully it could just sort of push us back to the level of momentum we had back in March. And yeah, the plan is to, we have got a couple of singles under our belt ready to go. But yeah, the new stuff there is new stuff. It's great. I think is the best stuff we've got so far. And yeah, it's just a case of getting out. We might, even if we release an EP, or a couple singles, an album would be great. But like you said, financially, we're all kind of looking for a winning lottery ticket, really.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's good.
But there's going to be content coming when you can, so that's something for fans to look forward to.
Yeah, we've got a new single coming soon. We're waiting to gig it. Do you know what I mean? We don't just want to release it now because it go dry. But by the time we start gigging, we'll have to jump in the studio again. So we've got a new single. I think it's probably a step up from what we've already put out, which is good. But yeah, let's hope everybody loves it when it comes out. We're trying to get a collab on it, which I'm not going to say too much about. But if that happens, it'd be great. It'd be mint.
Exciting. Cool. Well, I look forward to hearing that. Yeah, we'll wrap it up now then. So, like I said, thanks very much for coming on the show, and can't wait for the new singles. And yeah, if that show goes ahead in October, you'll probably see me down the front. Yeah.
Well, let us know if you come in, and you can. We'll just on the. Is it guest list? Is that
cheeky guest list?
Am I allowed to say that as well? That's the second cliche thing. All right, mate.
Cool. Cheers, Danny. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Cheers.